Good morning. Our next experiment is sentiment analysis in text. Analyzing a text can take many forms. Sometimes it is called as sentiment analysis. Some other times it may be called as opinion mining also. All in all, a sentiment analysis constitute an overall feeling of the conversation being taking place for a particular topic, for a particular party, for a particular thing which is the point of the conversation. So we just wish to have an outlook about the overall conversation, whether they were positive in their views, whether they were negative in their view, or the audience was just neutral about their views. So this is the purpose of your sentiment analysis. Now the applications of sentiment analysis. Really, there are many applications of sentiment analysis, sentiment mining maybe. Um, First one, that is the product reviews. Now we are very much habitual of going through Flipkart, Amazon, Myntra, etc. Every time we go or we search for a product, we look after the reviews being shared by the other users of the item. Reviews really act as a point of contention or the main deciding point whether we should purchase this item or not. So those reviews really help us to make our own decision. Second one is the political pulse taking. In the elections taking place every now and then, uh, the users or the voters actually are at a freedom to write, to share their views about a particular outfit. So it is very interesting, really very interesting to know what people are thinking, whether the people which are on social media, which are on Twitter, Facebook, etc., are really having a positive view of the outfit or a negative view. And this, the results can be used by uh, some PRO firm for shining their image so that they may win in the election. Some of the examples for summarize the sentiment described in terms of polarity are, for example, 60% of the tweets are positive about the candidate's speech on issue X. Second one is that 9 out of the 10 reviews of the movie are negative. Third one is that the person sitting in a room A are having a more negative views, or more, they are more negative than the person sitting in room B about a particular topic X or about a particular person X. Now the structure of an opinion. For example, this was the worst movie I ever saw. It is very obvious that the target of this opinion is the movie. Take the next example, that the sudden ending of the plot was worst part of the movie. Now again, the target of this sentence is also movie, but it is a further combination of the plot. So the plot here is the aspect of the opinion. There may be other aspects also which are constituting the opinion out of a sentence. Now the second one is that uh, there may be some implicit or explicit expressions involved while writing a sentence or while conveying the feelings through some textual material. The example, you may just look for the case one, which is that that was the worst movie I ever saw. So this is the example for explicit expression. Now explicitly it is negative about the movie. Now to take the second case, well, that movie was a total waste of $10. Now explicitly we just cannot judge whether it is negative or not, but implicitly we can say that it is talking in a negative term about the movie. So these are examples of implicit and explicit expressions. Now move further, further parts of your, or you can say further constituents of your sentiment analysis. Three things. One is the sarcastic statements. Idioms and conditional statements are very difficult to handle with. Means the statements or the conversation involving Sarcastic statements, idioms, and conditional statements are very difficult to mine. These actually are the challenges in sentiment analysis or opinion mining. You may just go through some examples. First one is that you should go see the Little Mermaid if you have nothing better to do on a Saturday night, but you might be better off washing your hair or reorganizing your sock drawer. So, this is a statement made in some sarcasm. So, actually, it is very negative, but uh, it is just hidden as an implicit sentiment, but it is not at all in the form of explicit expression. So this is very difficult to mine out. Second one is that has every as anyone else used the Little Mermaid script to line a bird cage. It is making use of some idioms to represent the negative feelings about the movie. Now, next examples are of some comparative opinions. Statement number one: the songs in Beauty and Beast were better than the Little Mermaid. Second one is Beauty and Beast and Little Mermaid both had some good music. So again, these all four statements constitute the comparison. So the sarcastic statements, idioms, and conditional statements are going to be the challenges while dealing or while mining the sentiments out of a conversation. Next is that document level and sentence level analysis. A particular conversation can be summarized from a sentence view as well as from a document view. For most of the times, we are concerned with document level sentiment analysis or document level opinion mining. At the document level, the sentiment analysis task is to summarize an overall feeling about the item in question. This could include aggregating sentiment values. Is this chat room a positive, happy place, or is it a negative, toxic environment? So, these may be the outcome of our sentiment analysis task. Is this speaker in this chat room generally positive or mostly negative? This may also be the conclusion of sentiment analysis. In this movie review, did this writer generally like the movie or is the review mostly negative? So these may all four be the target or all four may be the applications of our document level sentiment analysis. For most of our conversation, most of our uh, experiments also will be concentrating upon document level sentiment analysis. Okay, now the important features of opinions, or you can say important features of sentiments. This includes words and phrases and may include punctuation, emojis, and emoticons also. Words which determine or indicate positive or negative sentiments are called as sentiment words or opinion words. For example, good, bad, hate, gross, garbage, love, adore, etc. They may act as the sentiment words. Now, the more important thing to know is that for every domain, words may be following or words may be behaving differently in terms of negative sentiment or in terms of the positive sentiments. Or you can say that not every domain treats the same word in the same way. For example, the word unpredictable, which used in a movie review could be a positive descriptor that movie was unpredictable or something happened very in a very excited way, but when used in a car review it could be a negative comment. So words behave differently under different domains for opinion mining. Important features of opinions. Some of the most important features of opinions may be the rarity of a word used. It may be conveying more information if some rare words are used for representation of some view or some sentiment within a conversation called as apex. The second is the position of word in a text, or you may say that it means it is appearing as a biograms, trigrams, or what is the position of a particular word, or the sentences are being started with this word. It may play an important role while mining the sentiments. The third one is the presence of negation words, and also called opinion shifters. For example, I do like this movie and I do not like this movie. So again, there is a 180-degree shift of the opinion from negative to positive, or from a positive to negative, by the presence of some negation words. The last one is the parts of speech, or you may say that a particular word is adjective, adverb, noun, or what nature it is. So it also affect the overall sentiment of a within a conversation. Sentiment analysis algorithm. We are going to use some of the built-in sentiment classifier, which are pre-trained with positive and negative words. Especially, there are three types of classifiers. One is given by ULU, second one is Senti-Wordnet, and third one is Wordr. That is the most important one, and is provided as an inbuilt library within your NLTK 2. So, uh, in this experiment, we are going to make use of third library, that is the Wordr, and we'll try to find sentiments out of a conversation in the form of some emails. So let us look these algorithms one by one. The first one is given by Yuan Liu Sentiment, and is named as Yuan Liu Sentiment Analysis Lexicon. It consists of 6,800 words, out of which 4,800 words are negative and rest 2,000 words are positive in their sentiments. And the drawback is that there is no scale or ranking for the sentiment of each word. The words are stated to be either positive or negatives without gradients or comparisons to each other. Now, the next algorithm that is used for many of the sentiment analysis tasks is your Senti-Wordnet. Senti-Wordnet is another list of words. It consists of uh, 1,17,000 words. Their scores and definitions called glosses. That is, the word came from glossary. The objective score present in Senti-Wordness is the sum of positive and negative scores for a word subtracted from one. This score measures how neutral the word is. The header row and the first two entries from the Senti-Wordnet are given here. They are in the form of hash, pose, ID, pose score, positive score, negative score, then sincere terms, then glossary. So the word number one is your able. Now this hash, POS means part of speech. ID, for example, this is your word able. Its part of speech is A, means adjective in nature. Its ID is this, uh, 1740. Its positive score is 0.125. Negative score is 0, and the term is able, and that its glossary that is mentioned within Senti-Wordnet is this, that usually followed by 2, having the necessary means or skills, means all the details regarding the word able are there. Now the second entry within the Senti-Wordnet is unable. Again, kind of adjective. This is its ID. Its positive score is 0. Its negative score is 0. Because it is usually, or you can say, used for some negative sentiment conveyance. Unable is the word, and this is the glossary for this. So this is the overall structure of your Senti-Wordnet sentiment analysis tool. Your next inbuilt sentiment analysis tool is Worded, that is most frequently used and the important one also. Worded is Valence aware dictionary for sentiment reasoning. It is mainly devised to deal with the microblogging data such as tweets or some other microblogging websites, data coming from those websites. Suppose we want to analyze them, we want to find sentiments out of those short text, then we will make use of what a sentiment analysis tool. It is one of the built-in classifier that comes with Python's NLTK library and is used in many of the applications. If you go through some literature or some Wikipedia for searching for some sentiment analysis through microblogging websites, microblogging text. Now its lexicon consists of the words and is having the structure. For example, your burden says minus 1.5 0.5. This minus 1.5 is its a score. It's a, intensity score. 0.5 is standard deviation, and these 10 values minus 2 1 are giving are the values for different features within a scale from minus 4 to 4. Minus 4 denoting the negative presence of a particular feature, plus 4 denoting the positive or highly positive sense of a particular feature. In the same way, all the terms are represented using these scores. First one for overall score, second one for your standard deviation, and third one the array or the list containing 10 values for different 10 features. The worded dictionary consists of 7500 words. These 7500 words are in the form of uh, just like shown here, means each word is given by is represented by its score, then its standard deviation and the values of the 10 features within the scale of minus 4 to 4. There is the other score that is called as compound score, which represent the overall sentiment of a particular word within the dictionary. Means um, it is it considers the negatives, positives also, and just throw away a certain magnifying uh, quantity that represent the actual sentiment of the word. Now afterwards, if we talk about the Wader sentiment analysis tool, then normally it is used with sentences, means the library takes a complete sentence as input and then returns the score, which is a positive, or you can say positive score of that sentence. It is going to return negative score of the sentence is also going to be returned, and along with a compound score that considers positiveness as well as negativeness is also to be returned by the function from the library. So the Wader library is used to mine the sentiments of particular sentences, or you can say for all sentences present within the document. And if we got the sentiments out for each sentence present within a document, then we can sum them up and find the average of the positive score, average of the negative score, average of the compound score, to convey the overall feelings of the complete document, whether it was positive in sense, it was negative in sense, or what was the combined or the compound score of the overall document present. Now move to the experiment which we are going to perform for understanding the sentiment analysis. Uh, the dataset for our experiment has just came from the same experiment that was our earlier one, RFRG, Ruby Forge. Uh, we picked a single email user, Torvalds, who is known for his very emotionally charged speech style. His emails are longer than chat text, highly emotive content is there, and usually properly punctuated. Now we wish to find the sentiments for each of his mail using our Worded library, that is the inbuilt part of our NLTK library. All in all, there are 77 emails present in the dataset, and the dataset is following the structure, which is the structure of the dataset is that there is a table named as sentiment, distributed over the following fields. Number one is your URL. It is going to act as your primary key for this table. Then is the sender. Then is the date on which the mail was sent. Body of the mail means the part upon which we are going to work with for finding sentiment. Next one is sentiment score. It is going to be blank initially. Maximum positive score obtained by any sentence within a particular mail. It is again initially empty. We need to find this maximum negative score achieved or obtained by any sentence within a particular mail, represented by the body. It is again the empty one, and we are going to fill it up, and our primary key is the URL. So this is all about your dataset available with us. Now we are going to work for finding sentiments for each mail within this dataset. So what we'll be doing is that we will calculate an average compound score for each email. Then we store the highest positive score for each sentence in the mail. We will store highest negative score for the sentence present in a particular email. And finally, we just want to have 10, or you can say 20 most negative emails, 20 most positive emails out of this repository. So this is what we are going to do. 90% of this I will be telling you through this video. 10% I will leave up to you. You need to finish that and then again to show it to me. Now let us start doing the experiment. The dataset we are provided with is in terms of this text file of .sql extension. Now it contains the code to create a table if not exists, that is named as sentiment, with these fields. I have just explained these to you, and after that it is going to insert the values within this table. So there are 77 such emails which are to be stored in this table. So let us uh, start doing this. So first we need to create our database, launch the XAMPP server, and then start your Apache as well as use your MySQL server. Then go to admin part, and after going to admin, we need to create a database that is named as your sentiment analysis. So go to new and sentiment analysis. So create this table. Sentiment analysis is this. Now after creating this table, try to import the file the which we have just seen, the sentiment one. So import, it was present on your desktop, so choose this and go for its execution. So its execution will result in creation of the table that is named as your sentiment, and within this table 77 rows are to be inserted. Now if we go for its architecture or the entries contained by the sentiment, then they are of this nature that First field is your URL, second one is your sender, third one is your date sent, fourth one is your body, where the body consists of the text which was sent by the sender. So this is the text. This is the text we are going to work with. We want to have the sentiment for this text, whether it is a positive uh, sentiment mail or is it a negative sentiment mail. Next one is that you may just click upon the body and have a look uh, what exactly it consists of. So this is our overall data set uh, set up out here. So 77 entries are there, means 77 mails written by the author are there. Also these are the three fields: sentiment score, maximum positive score, maximum negative score, which are null. If you look very carefully to the sentiment.sql file, then actually these values are present within that file. And if you uh, execute that query in itself, then these fields are going to be filled up. But I intentionally left them as blank or null. And because our intention here is to find these score by ourselves and to fill in this table. So these are given in sentiment.sql, but we have to find it by ourselves and then to insert in this database dataset. Now, after going through the problem, let us try to code this. First of all, you need to launch your Jupyter notebook. After launching the Jupyter notebook, sentiment analysis, and if we look at the code present here, so first is that we need to import your MySQL connector, because the data is stored in the form of a database named as sentiment analysis, and within sentiment analysis we have a table that is named as sentiment. So execute this, it means our database is connected well, connections are all working fine. uh, then there is an update score query. uh, we'll be looking at it, but in essence it is very simple in terms. Only there were only three blank columns in the data set, or you can say database. So through this query we actually want to fill the values within those three columns. So what we are doing is update sentiment, that is the name of our table. Set sentiment score is equal to percentages, means variable that is we are going to pass through it. Second one is your maximum positive score, third one is maximum negative score. So this will be called by passing three arguments to it, and it will be updating your sentiment table. So this is our purpose uh, of writing the program, means we want to have these scores out for each email present within the dataset. Now move to the next query, that is select email query. The query is select URL body from sentiment. As we know that URL is acting as our primary key, so it will be selecting the body corresponding to each email stored within the dataset within the table sentiment. Now after executing this query, the result we have just assigned to emails. Now run this. After running, all the results or the bodies corresponding to all 77 emails is stored within emails, and now we need to iterate upon these emails one by one. So this is the for loop for doing this. For email, in the emails means we are putting a loop on emails. So it picked the first email, and then its URL is assigned to this. There were two fields, one is URL and the second one is the body. So these two are to be extracted. The first out of these is going to the URL, means the first argument, the first value retrieved in emails, and the second one is going to be assigned to your body. So URL is assigned to URL, and the body of, you can say, text that was conveyed by the sender is stored within the variable body. And final score is initialized to 0. Rounded final score is again initialized to 0. Maximum positive score, maximum negative score, all assigned or initialized to. So this is the initialization process. And now if you look here, that from NLTK dot sentiment dot weather import sentiment intensity analyzer. So this is the functionality which we important from our, with the help of your weather library. Uh, so this statement just creates an object of your sentiment intensity analyzer. And the next one, that email lines is equal to tokenize, it is tokenizing upon the body and extracting the lines from a particular email. As we already seen that email was in the form of a paragraph consisting of lines. So this statement is breaking that particular paragraph in the form of some lines. Now for each line present in these emails we want to operate upon, means we want to have a score for each individual line present within an email. That is why this ss is equal to sid, means sid, uh, just an object of this word library's sentiment intensity analyzer was assigned to sid. Now ss is equal to sid dot polarity score. Now here actual sentiments are being mined using the your WADER library, your WADER lexicon. So this, it will be, you can say this statement will be returning scores for a particular line and will be going to your SS. And after that we need to print the line by ignoring next line characters and your tabs also. Now it is printing the same line present within a email, within an email. Now this score, this one ss is equal to sid dot polarity underscore score consists of three parts. One is your compound score, second one is your positive score, third one is negative score. So three kind of scores are returned by this polarity underscore scores function. And this statement, for k is equal to, for k in sorted, means we have sorted this ss being the dictionary alphabetically, and for each key of this we printed its value, means the combined score will go to, combined score will go to 0 and its value go to 1. Then positive score will go to this one 0 and its value go to 1. Then a negative score go to this and its value will be going to this. So this is the function meant for this, means we want to print all the scores present or returned by your polarity underscore scores function for each line of the of your email. Now the next part is line compound score. Lines compound score is returned by your ss, this one, so it is assigned to lines compound score. Why it is so? Because we want to have an average compound score for that particular email. In other words, we would be finding the compound score for each line of the email, and after finding the compound score for all lines within a particular email, we are going to find its, we are going to calculate its average or average compound score of an email. It is our purpose. So that is why we have just given line compound score to the one returned in SS, and the final score we are going to just add upon. We initialized it with 0. First line score is added to this score 0 plus the score attained by the first line. Then this again will be updated uh, with the score of second line, then again the third line, then the fourth line, because we are iterating upon the number of lines present within a particular email. Now move to the next one. If the positive score is greater than maximum positive score, which was initialized to 0, then we have to store this maximum score within a variable that is positive score. And the same thing we want to do with your negative score also. Else if your negative score is greater than this one, then we are going to update the negative score